This is a 2011 Ford Ranger with 4.0. So the customer complaint was on this one. Intermittently, it doesn't crank. So we got the codes, we get this code here, and then we started doing the diagnostic. But I find out when I started looking for information, Ford doesn't provide pretty much information what to test on this code. They tell you replace the keys, replace the transceiver receiver, or replace the cluster and program the cluster with the PCM. So basically there is no testing at all. So we went through the testing here and finding the problem. Um, I recorded a little clips only on this because I was at the shop and I was working there, so I can't be recording. So I just record little clips. We're gonna go through here the explanation here on this, what I was doing and what like what I found. However, because there is no explanation on Ford service menu, so I just went deep and analyzed the system with different tools, and then I will be explaining that one almost at the end of the video. So for where the system, how the system works and operate. For a lot of people, they don't care that. What they care is what fixed the problem. They said, I don't care that. I wanted to know what fixed the problem, and that's it. For that people, what fixed the problem was the key. The key was defective, so we got a second key, and that one made it. And after that one, we programmed two keys. On this vehicle, basically, you don't need a scanner to program them. It's like a 10 minutes cycle you do, and you programming without, going with the scanner. However, almost at the end, I was explaining how the system works and operate, and I will leaving on the description there at what minute that happened. So then if you're interested in that one, look at that one, and then you'll see it there. No problems. Key in it. So what I have here is with the picoscope, I'm checking here the signals. I'm bypassing the antenna,
So basically I have disconnected the transmitter and the receiver right here, and I got two wires where I jumped the power and ground, so that way the antenna has powers and ground. The idea behind it is I wanted to see what wire is producing the bias signal, and when the computer wanted to talk, which one is the one is pulling that to ground. We'll see those and analyze. I named that one key number 1. That's the one it fails, and with this one I haven't got that one to fail, so we had a bad key. Gonna get some keys and program them. So we're gonna go through here, this troubleshooting first, right here. So here is the information from 4. It's telling us the description and operation of the system. So we got some good information here, but look at this here. Special tool we're gonna need: multimeter, scanner, back probes, pins. Okay. Gonna go forward a little bit. Principle of operation of the system. Probably I won't read everything of this from you guys, but you can pause it. I'll leave it a little bit there, and if you want to learn a little bit more, you can pause those, but I'll highlight some stuff. It's saying if you replace the instrument cluster, the PCM, or both, you need to reset the parameters. Okay, if you only replace the transceiver, the antenna, you don't have to replace anything. Make sure you don't have aftermarket alarm. Okay. Minimum 2 key required to program. How it works the light. This is probably some good information here. During each, let's see this one. Try to focus right there. This is passive anti-theft on top. Transceiver. During each start sequence, the pass transceiver read the encoded key identification code and send it to the instrument cluster. Basically, the information is stored more in the instrument cluster. However, they say we replace the PCM, we have to reprogram both, indicating if the right key, the right code was in that key, sending that message to the computer to ground starter solenoid. The starter a relay, and also allow fuel injectors to operate. So that means maybe at some points it will crank and not start because it's disabled in the fuel injector. Okay. Basically, it's saying here, the instrument cluster is sending on the RX in, receiver in, to interrogate the key by sending voltage signal to the pad transceiver. Then the receiver that uses this antenna embowels the signal of the trombores and the pad key. This process reads the pad key identification code, send it back to the instrument cluster, which is gonna check if that code is really that code. Look at this one here. It said the transceiver sent the transceiver. The instrument, the key interrogation by sending a voltage signal to the pad transceiver. Let's see this one here. Yes, it's this one here on the blue color. So it's saying that the computer send that voltage to the instrument cluster, send that voltage to the antenna. This is the transmitter out, transmitter receiver in on blue. So I got a test condition here. What I was doing here, you can read that one. I had unplugged these connectors. So on this test, where you can see in this test, where you can see one stay low the blue here, and it stay high voltage on the red. Every time you see the high voltage, like right here, I was key on. This one here, I was key on. Every time you see from here to here, I was key on. So that indicates, focus, okay. This indicates, like who is producing that signal. I had unplugged that on this point, the antenna, I think I had it. I got the testing condition here while I was doing it. But bottom line is this. This is very important, because if at some point, this is flat here, high, let me focus this thing, or here, if you had it here, flat here, or flat here, you know who's producing the voltage, and you know what component could be damaged at this point. Same thing here. If they tell you replace the cluster, like here, you can see those voltage, high voltage. You pretty much know what to test, because they are not telling you pretty much any testing, condition. Okay. So go back here. Look at this one. Right here. Look at here. When this one was pulled down, this is a transmitter, the antenna sending a signal to the instrument cluster when it's staying low. We see here, and we can see here on the green. This is the green. This green is the same thing I was using with the red tool. The tool I initiate the test. You see that one, the light flashes? This is it. Right here, I just got it on the green channel with another tool, just for testing purposes. But we can see here, the instrument cluster is sending a signal to interrogate the key, and here is answering, hey, this is the code, right here, to here. And we can see here, like if the light was illuminating, that just means the antenna is capable of producing signal. We don't know if that encoded signal is right or not. Like in this case was, like the key was the problem. What happened with key on only? Look at here. Let me focus this thing. What happened with key on? From right here over, I'm key on only all time. And we can see this is the voltage. This is the voltage. Move this one away a little bit, because the purpose right now is just to show you the high voltage. I'm key on all the time. No, I think it's, yeah, key on here. Or, yeah, key on. Look at this. This is high voltage, staying here. From right here to right here is interrogating the key. Every time you see this, is the cluster is saying, hey, send me the code. What is your code? So here's the response of the antenna. Say, hey, here's interrogating the key. Boom. Here it is. Here it is. But very important this voltage here, because if you have a vehicle no start, you know what to look for. See the voltage there? Both should be on high voltage. Okay. Now you will have to find out if it doesn't pull down, why. Is that voltage shorted to power? If this one will be low, is that shorted to ground? Or any of these two is not producing the signal? That's the whole point. Pretty nice. We can see here every time, like if you see that one right here exactly, boom, to right here, when it was grounding that one, when it was produced a signal every time. Okay, now right here, this is the capture I had when the vehicle didn't start at one moment. On the whole here, started. I have the information here on the bottom. You can read down. But every time it started, you see, every time it started, and the signal varies. You see this one? You see this one? But you see this one is very small. That is because if I leave the key out of the vehicle or off a little bit more time, the more time I leave it, I was looking at the signal was a little bit longer pulses here. That's what happened. Okay, now on all this screen, the vehicle started. Right here we can see it started, no problem. Right here it didn't start. From right here, the vehicle didn't start. I tried 1 time, 2 times, 3, 4 times. The vehicle didn't start. And at that point, the light was blinking on the cluster all time. I go off here, go on, and I saw the light went off, and boom, turn it off the vehicle. Turn on the vehicle. Here we can see it runs, it's good, and I turn it off here. And I turn it on, you keep working here now. But the pulses, we don't know exactly what's going on here. Though these pulses, to me, I don't know what does mean. 1, 2, 3, 4 package here in the space, 4 package. 1, 2, 3, 4 data package. When it works, right here when it didn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 package. This one was more. But as I said, sometimes when the pulses are longer, when I leave the key for more time. Look at here, how many packages I had. Same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 package when it didn't want to start. We're gonna see here when it's right here it was starting fine, and we can probably see the same package. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's 5 here. But how do we know that one is good or not? Hard, because we have no information. Right here, vehicle started fine. Boom, look. The light went off here, I mean. See? And that one was when I went on and off quickly. Went on and off, on and off, on and off the key. Bottom line is here for us to diagnostic. This information is key. From right here to right here, I got key on. We have high voltage. Who's pulling that to ground? That is the very important part of this. And I hope okay, look at this here. This is what I wanted to focus a little bit more. The operation, they are telling you here what to do. But right here, start a testing supposedly. They are telling you to, if you got that code, okay, make sure you don't have a large objects and metals around other key programming. Okay, connect the scan tool, erase the key, erase the codes. Did the code come back? Yes. Go to 2, B2. Check with both keys. Here's where it comes a problem. If this customer only have 1 key, or you're already in trouble, because you already need, in the process of testing, you need more keys and program that. Make sure the new paths key are approved, blah blah blah. Okay, check both keys. After you check both keys, they wanted to know if still the light and the code is present. I'm gonna say yes. If that's the case, they tell you go to 3, install new antenna. They didn't tell you any freaking thing here. Like, how about this? How about if this one has problem with power, with ground here, or power here, what the hell is gonna happen there? This thing is not gonna work. It won't work at all, because you need powers and ground. They didn't even mention that there at all. They just telling you install the new path transceiver. Clear codes. Let me focus again. Clear codes. And did the code come back? Yes. Okay, so they are saying install the transceiver. After we install the transceiver, and after that they're saying check for corrosion on the pins. Are they plugged in correctly, the pins in the instrument cluster? Yes, they are correct. They are plugged in and everything. And Same thing, they are telling you to replace the cluster. They didn't tell you to check this power to the cluster, this power, and 2 grounds. It had pin 1 and 3 grounds, 12, 8, and 10 are power. See how they give you this? Just say, if you still have the problem, install a new instrument cluster, reset the parameters in both PCM and this one. Also, you're done. If you follow these instructions, and you didn't check powers and ground, what will happen? I remember, like some time ago, I went to diagnostic a vehicle for no start, no crank. I think it was Honda Accord. And then what happened? They told me this guy has been working 23 years at a Honda dealer, and they called him to come over and check this Honda, and he installed new antenna, and after that one the vehicle still had the same issue. So now they told me the guy is not answering in the phone. He's not answering, he didn't go back, so they called me to go back and check this vehicle. So I started asking the customer, when this problem occurred, what happened? Is any event? Did you replace something? When that happened? And they told me this occurs after the vehicle was in an accident. They said it was running fine, we were in an accident, after that the vehicle didn't start. So in the back of my mind was already wiring issue. So then I went to the receiver transceiver, and it was a power missing. So I went down there and I found a blown fuse, because the vehicle was in an accident and it crunched some wires and blew the fuse. So we had to fix the original problem, which was was blowing the fuse. However, he was following the information from Honda, and they didn't mention to check power and ground, so he didn't do it. And this is unlogical, step we gotta follow, when we're diagnosing the system. First was the vehicle was in accident. That one was telling you chances are that component failed at the same time, but you gotta check the basic, what you need for that electronic component to work. It's power and ground first to begin. So I hope this video helped you and I didn't bore you too much with the description operation of the system.